All right, hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Plush Robot Podcast. My name is Zack, and I have a very special guest with me today. The one, the only, my little brother, Kyle, everybody.
Hi, how are you? That's great.
Before the podcast started, we were talking about ASMR and how I was listening to a YouTube playlist of some ASMRs, and there was literally one where there was this one girl, I forget the channel name, but she literally was going up to the microphone, going like, I mean, it was the weirdest thing ever, because she sounded like the Predator from the Predator movies.
Yeah. That's great and all, you know, hearing some sound like a fucking Visco girl. But have you heard about the fucking pickles?
Oh yeah, and immediately after we were talking about ASMR, he literally finds this one that pops up on YouTube called Pickle ASMR Eating Sounds Big Crunch Intense from ASMR the Chew. Hang on, I'm watching this right now. This is all live.
Hello. This is
I don't like the lips. I don't like the lip smacking already. I just want to skip. Hold on, I need to skip to the. Okay, pickle time. Here we go.
Pickle time.
Oh, using a plastic fork. Look at that. Oh man, those are some big pickles.
Okay, we don't need to talk about the big pickles, all right?
Oh shit. Oh man, my mic is peaking like crazy.
That looks so freaking good.
So freaking good. You ever had a fucking pickle and you were like,
Oh, that's so freaking good.
I don't need to hear that. I just don't need it. I'm good.
All right. Okay, she's eating the pickle.
Okay. All right. The sounds need to fucking chill.
All right, I'm actually getting a little overwhelmed.
I don't like food eating sounds already, and I mean I don't like pickles.
Like, are you trying to do an ASMR mukbang or some shit?
People do those, which is even stranger. There was like one lady who eats like a fuck ton of seafood, and everyone was thinking that she was like kidnapped for a long time because she wears a fucking blindfold. And
That sounds like some deep web like video you find.
And then, like, one video, her, like, teeth started fucking falling out of her head or something.
What?
Like, 3 teeth. It was weird as fuck. You know, I'm just hoping that it was fake, you know, a little bit, because, like, 3 teeth coming out of your mouth does not sound
That
fun.
sounds like I said, it sounds like a video you find on, like, the deep web, and, like, some ordinary gamers, like, reacts to that.
I feel like,
Or Etika would react to that kind of shit.
if we want to be real, it could be, like, what? If she's bulimic and she, like, throws up a lot.
Right, but, like, to have teeth, that's like, oh my god.
Yeah, but, like, vomit makes the teeth really bright.
Right.
So.
Oh, and that's another thing about Kyle. He is actually going to school for medicine.
I'm a nursing major.
Yep, he's going to be going into nursing. So if you hear a lot of medical terms from him, he knows all about that. He studies all of it, and
I won't try to make it very often, okay? It's just going to be like, oh, hey, does it fit? I'm not just going to start being like, oh, yes, have you ever heard of this? No.
but will it blend?
But will it blend?
That is the question.
Why do you have to bring me back to, like, 2000 fucking
Because that is a classic.
That was, like, what? How old was that?
That was
back
like
then?
2006, 2007 YouTube right there.
I was, like, fucking 7 years old.
I remember the one where they shredded the Sony Handycam in the blender, and then the guy tried to return it to Best Buy. Not the old guy, but the one of the crew guys from, like, who does, like, the camera work or something like that. And they tried to return it, and he had the receipt and everything, and he's just like, oh, well, how this... It was like this girl at the Geek Squad or whatever. It was just like, oh, how did this happen? Like, yeah, it fell into a blender. And then he's like, wait, what kind of blender? It was a Blendtec blender, because those are the blenders they use in those videos. So yeah, so ASMRs, that's just a weird, wacky world right there. But we're gonna move on into something that is near and dear. Hold on one second. My computer just decided to go to sleep, but I turned it back on. We're going to be talking about Pokemon and
Hooray.
all of the... I'm sure everyone has heard all of the recent news with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Everyone saw that Pokemon Direct. Those 2 new expansions.
I'm excited for that.
Hell yeah.
I really am. I can't
And
wait for that.
the big one being a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game after 8 billion years later.
8 billion years.
It's been 3,000
It's been
years.
a while, though. For sure.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be cool because I've actually only seen like my friends play Mystery Dungeon and it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm like, wait, why are they talking and what's going on?
Oh,
and it's
come on,
like...
dude. You gotta play it. Just try it out. It's actually
I know,
not
and
bad.
it's kind of like a Final Fantasy Tactics kind of RPG thing going for it, and it's like I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But when this new Mystery Dungeon game comes out, I want to give it a shot. The same way I still need to get Sword. Wait for that paycheck to come this week, and I'm definitely gonna get my copy of Sword because I want to have my full team of Wooloo.
You're gonna try for it?
I'm gonna do a whole
You're
team of
gonna try
Wooloo.
for it? Okay.
I'm telling
Alright.
you, this is gonna be a mission of mine. I'm gonna have a regular playthrough of Sword. Just gonna have a bunch of Pokemon. Have definitely Sobble for sure. Get that Inteleon, and then who else? Probably have a Wooloo on that team, and I don't know who else, but if they're useful, I'll put them in my team. And then the second playthrough is going to be all Wooloo. One's going to be shiny. The rest are going to be regular.
Oh, good luck.
And
good luck. I wish you the best with that shiny hunt, my friend.
and then I'm going to evolve them into a double wool. And the black shiny one is
Wait.
going to be named Craig.
Wait, hold up. You're gonna evolve them?
Yes.
You're gonna evolve them?
I mean, you kept
Are
yours.
you sacrilege? That's sacrilegious, alright? You know, you're not allowed to... The cult of Wooloo does not allow you to evolve, alright?
It's a church of Wooloo. It's a church of Wooloo in this case.
Anyway.
I don't run any Ponzi schemes.
I mean, well, at the very least, I think you're gonna have a lot of trouble. So that should be fun for you at the very least.
Well, then again, I talked about doing an all-dog team for Sun and Moon.
Yeah, that would be pretty... I think that would be more simple.
I think I'd do that. I'd try that with Sword, though, because, you know, there's always Yamper and whoever else is a new dog.
Arcanine's here as well.
Okay, that's
I mean,
good.
you can always get that.
True.
Yeah.
Smeargle.
Manectric's here as well.
Yep. I was gonna
A lot
consider.
of electric
I was
types.
gonna consider Smeargle, but I don't know.
Smurl's a dog.
I don't know. Would you
consider-
call him a
Do
dog?
you consider that a dog?
Would you call him
Do you
Muppet? I don't
It's
know.
a fucking... It looks like something. That's all.
But
Fucking Van Gogh for all I know. I didn't see him.
Picasso, man.
Alright.
I don't know. Maybe Marilyn Manson when he does his paintings.
Marilyn Manson.
No, I'm kidding.
The fucking Smurgle is Marilyn Manson. Confirmed. We always know.
Dude, that's a good. If Marilyn Manson had like a Pokemon, if he were in like Pokemon, what like Pokemon would he have like on his side? Like, what do you think?
My dude. One was just released. Obstagoon. Come on. It's almost perfect. At the very least in terms of looks. Dude, look at this. Are you
I mean,
come on.
Sure, he could have that. An Obstagoon.
Oh, come on. It almost fits. I mean, sure, it's more like the Kiss Rock sort of style, but it still fits regardless.
Right. It's the Gene Simmons looking.
But regardless, I feel like
Evolution.
he would be like a dark type, ghost type user for
Well,
like,
Corbinite.
Corbinite.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Corviknight?
Yeah, I said Corbinite.
The bird.
Yeah.
Corviknight. That thing is a steel
I feel
type?
like he'd have that.
It's just a flying steel, I think.
I know, but it's look. I feel like he'd have that.
Well, yeah, because it looks fucking cool, okay?
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I know this may seem a little out of place, but actually not really, because we are a little all over the place with this podcast. But that's all good. Why don't we start with your first experience with Pokemon, Kyle?
My first experience
Yeah,
of Pokemon.
the first that off the top of your head.
My
the first
I
first Pokemon game that you
I
remember.
couldn't remember the first Pokemon game that I played. It was a version of Sapphire where the save file would get corrupted every time if you ever shut it off or tried to save. So you couldn't save or shut it off. So this Game Boy was stuck in the wall for like at least 2 weeks. And every time I chose Mudkip. There was like 3 times where I played this game and then I lost all the data, so I kept on playing it over and over for the same time period and over the same course of the game. And essentially, I never got any new Pokemon. I always just leveled up Mudkip. And then it became... Why am I forgetting it? Why am I forgetting its name? Second evolution of Mudkip.
Marshtomp.
Marshtomp. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
Yeah, it came into Marshtomp. And then that's usually when the game would shut off. Because either, oops, it got unplugged for a day and I didn't realize it, or, oh, someone shut it off, and guess what? Ooh, it's time to go fight Roxanne again for the 5th time. Oh, can't wait for Brawly. That seems fun. My favorite. No. There's a part of the reason why I don't like 3rd gen, and it's mostly just the beginning part, because I just have those memories still.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
my first Pokemon game, I had a Game Boy Color when I was little, and the first game I got was Pokemon Yellow. I was a big fan of the show and the card game, because I played the card game with kids at school, and we just trade them because why not? We just collect them. That was about it. But it was a copy of Pokemon Yellow. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all. I just had Pikachu behind me, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I didn't know how to fight Pokemon first, so I just run away a lot because I thought it bothered me. I was just like, I don't know what to do. I just want to go somewhere else.
You just want to go. I want to leave.
I was like, I don't know, like 6, 7, I don't know. A little younger. I think I was like 5 or 6 because like I watched the show and I was just like, I didn't play it for a while because I just kind of moved on to playing PlayStation 1, and that was about it.
Oh, dude.
Playing that Eren Hunter game that I still have vivid memories about.
Gotta
You
go
know
back.
about that game?
No, I don't actually.
Eren Hunter? Oh my god, Dad got it for the PS1, and it was a game you played. It was made by Square Enix. Came out in 98, and it was a game where it came out a year after Final Fantasy VII, so the aesthetic of the game is very like, it's super duper cyberpunk, so it has like a lot of like the neon buildings and like the futuristic looking thing. You play as a ship. It's a shooter game where it has a grappling arm that can steal enemies' weapons. So you can steal a Gatling gun, a flamethrower, a missile launcher, and it just gets crazy intense. And
That sounds interesting, at least.
it's really a really good game, and the music I remember stood out to me, and the visuals of the game, because when I looked it up on the internet, when I was doing when I need music for when I was making vaporwave for my Robo Tyson project, I'd be like, oh, that was the game. And I was a shocker that I found out about it years later, because I remember it sort of existing in my mind. I'm just like, I remember playing this game, like it was a vivid experience, but I just kind of forgot about it for a while until it was like, oh, then everything started flooding back. But getting off, wow, that was a different video game from going from 2.5D shooters to RPGs like Pokemon.
Hey.
But but later on, I remember helping one of my best friends in 3rd grade, helping him catch a Lugia, because he was at that point in Crystal.
3rd grade.
Yeah,
My God.
it was a while. And I think it was, I used to go to his house a lot, because we would play his Nintendo 64, and we didn't...
Which house was that? Was that the house in Modesto?
No. This was in Washington.
Why? Oh my God. Okay. That's so long ago.
Yeah. But I used to go to his house a lot, like when I go to the school bus. I somehow remember this, and he had the original Smash Brothers, which I remember playing that a bit, but it wasn't until like Melee where I just got fully invested. you know, when I had the GameCube.
Uh-huh.
But as far as Pokemon goes, I feel like I helped him with Crystal, and then I had a copy of Sapphire, and again, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, because I was moving on to different games. I was more into Mario at that time, so. But it wasn't until I think right around when Diamond and Pearl dropped, I fully started getting invested into Pokemon. I'm just like, oh, now this is what I'm talking about.
Diamond and Pearl was the like first real game that I actually owned for myself. Eventually, I went back to Gen 3 when I like got different games. I got Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald. Played through those in my own time. But Diamond was like the first one where it was actually just my game and my experience, and that was really what got me into it, I guess.
Yeah, and I think when we also had the action replay for our DSs.
Oh my god.
And I think I got my own copy of... no, I actually used you and Troy's copies of Diamond and Pearl, because I didn't play the game. I played like... we just battled each other a lot. And that was fun.
Pokemon Battle Revolution will have that as well.
Yep, for the Wii.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which they need to definitely make another like stadium Battle Revolution game for the Switch.
I would actually love that because...
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they can say, oh, well, there's Pokken Tournament, but that's a regular fighting game. It's like Pokemon and Tekken together.
It's weird because for some reason, the moment when you were able to play Pokemon on a like TV with a remote, like a controller in your hand, all of a sudden I was like, wow.
Well, imagine
it's the future.
Well, even like, imagine, because I remember at that same friend's house, he had Pokemon Stadium. I remember playing that with him a lot, and I was just like, "Whoa, Pokemon on Nintendo 64!
Yeah.
Whoa!"
Even though they didn't change much in like Pokemon Battle Revolution, it was just
it was still the same format, but it updated.
Yeah, it was a nicer format. I guess.
Yeah, you know, some games they'll, you know. I feel like they either upgrade it and make it better, or sometimes they'll just make it worse.
Yeah.
Or, you know, be a video game kind of like Metal Slug, where they just like, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Just keep it the same pixel art.
Same stuff.
And well, not really, because they get the next Metal Slug games, they get really crazier as like, because 2 and the updated version X, that's when they have like the aliens, the Mars people come in.
It's not bad regardless.
3 is like crazy intense with like you're fighting a weird ass brain alien at the end.
Yeah.
And I was playing it last night. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, will you just die already? Because like I was running out of heavy machine gun ammo, and I had to use my grenades while he's holding the freaking Metal Slug tank in his like weird spindly hand.
Spindly hand.
I'll show you what he looks like.
Such a
Hold on. Metal.
You spindly hand.
Metal Slug 3 final boss. I know it has a name, but okay. This is what it looks like.
Okay, he just looks like he's fucking. Does he have? Oh, that's fucked up. I don't know if I can say that. I was gonna say
he's got a brain and he's stitched up. His eyes are like far apart. And he just
does he have like fetal alcohol symptoms? Like what the fuck? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I can say.
Oh my god. But I know people are probably right now. They're just like, why? What's going on right now? What happened to Pokemon talk? Well, this is what happens when when I have an average conversation with Kyle right here. It just evolved into a bunch of other
Who needs
stuff.
constant conversation when you can just go anywhere? Wow. Look, the world is so amazing. Anyway.
I mean, I see miracles every day.
No, don't fucking go there. Don't fucking go there.
But, yeah, so I definitely still need to get a copy of Pokemon Sword.
Probably should. They made EV training. Well, EV training's still the same, but they made like everything else for competitive much easier.
Well, that's good.
You can actually just change a Pokemon's nature flat out.
Sweet.
But of course, you have to actually get BP first, which means you have to battle things either in the battle tower or actual people. So,
but I feel like this Pokemon game, because like I beat Y, like because like before then, well, let me backtrack a little bit for everybody. So, as I was saying, I would only battle my Kyle and our other brother Troy with their copies of Diamond Pearl, and also when Platinum came out.
Yeah, Platinum.
I think it was Platinum the one that we battled the most on.
I love Platinum, dude.
I think it was between Platinum and Pearl, and maybe a couple times on Diamond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But actually, it probably wouldn't make a difference because like when you have both in the DS, the battle system just kind of is the same.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always found like the third game that would always come out. So there's Ruby. Well, before that, there is Silver, Gold. Then there was Crystal. And Crystal was the one I played with that one friend a lot.
Yep.
And then there was Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, which, you know, you get the best of both worlds in both games. Plus, you know, every third Pokemon game that would come out, there was always that third new legendary. Well, I mean, they existed within like the game,
but it was like the after.
They were just like
the post game.
Front and center.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, oh hey, now we're the main one.
Exactly.
And also, usually they were like the revised versions where it was like, oh,
it was an update, yeah.
We added some new improvements and stuff like that. But you had to pay $60 for some new improvements. So
you had to buy a whole new game.
Kind of.
Which, that's another thing that I've been seeing some people complain on Twitter, that the expansions for Sword and Shield, they're complaining because they're like, oh, it's DLC. Oh, Nintendo, Game Freak's becoming like, they're becoming like EA.
They're shelling out.
No, here's the thing that I can understand. For me, it depends on like the length of it, because we don't know how long the actual DLC stories are going to be.
Right, because Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, you only had the Delta Emerald.
You had the Emerald episode.
But then that wasn't even that long.
It was decently long, but it was like, but at the same time, you also had like enough post game to like satisfy everything.
And then if you wanted to catch Rayquaza and get his Mega Evolution and everything.
Sword and Shield's post game at the moment is a little lacking, so that's what is kind of exciting about having something like DLC coming out. It means that this game isn't just going to be like a Sun and Moon, like one and done. Oh, it's dead. It's going to be like okay. People are going to stay more interested in it.
Right, but with Sun and Moon, they also had the sequel games, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, I mean, of course I got them anyway. I kind of like, in a way...
I didn't play those. I played Moon all the way through.
I played... Well, I didn't play Ultra Moon. I played Ultra Sun through, but I still have copies from both, which is kind of weird. But anyway, basically, I kind of like the story changes they made in the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon games compared to the original, because, well, okay, I won't spoil that part. Anyway, you'll find out later if you haven't fucking played it. But in terms of this game, since that's what we were talking about in the first place, Sword and Shield, I am actually really excited for the DLC for once. It depends on the length and the amount of content that it has, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel like from the sounds of it, it should have a very decent amount, especially if it's at a price point of around like, what, $30?
Yeah, it's going to be $29.99.
Yeah, $30 for each. So for each of those...
I mean, it's better than buying another $60 game.
Those being spaced out within the, time frame of 6 months or so.
Yeah.
June, and then suddenly like November. Like
November, sometime in the fall.
Basically, it's like paying for a revised version of the game like Platinum, except you're not paying for a revised version, and there's the possibility of getting more content.
Well, and also it's like your existing party, you're still gonna have it.
Well, of course, yeah, I know.
It's not like, when you buy you had to go to the store, you have to go GameStop, you had to wait in line. Say Platinum, when Platinum came out, or Black 2, White 2. It's like, I gotta start everything over.
No, I remember about waiting in line. Black and white. I waited in line on a weekend for like 5 hours. No joke. Actually, just waiting there. It was in the morning, and I was just
the GameStop
excited.
At the. Was it the
It was in the mall.
The Pheasant Lane?
Yeah, I think
in
so.
Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, because we were there. I remember, I think Mom was with you, and you just...
Oh, yeah.
And then you were telling the story of, you just had to wait and wait.
Yeah. No, we were waiting for that entire time. It felt like it just took forever. The line was like, you were going down the escalator and you could just see the line like throughout the mall. I was like,
because it's Pokemon.
holy shit.
And then you have those boomers be like, yeah, Pokemon was that was big in the 90s. This is not doing anything now. Huh?
What the fuck? Did the boomers equal Gen 1ers? Because,
No, I mean, you hear people like, oh, I remember Pokemon is like the 90s cartoon. Whatever. I mean, Pokemon's still active.
yeah.
It still is.
Yeah, of course. But,
I mean, the show, it has its audience, but, I mean, sure, I'm sure some kids are watching it, and there was as psyched as we were, like, especially me, who was born 94, 25 years old, a millennial.
A millennial.
how could you?
But how big Pokemon was back in like 98, 99. Well, even the original games, like, as I was only like 1 when the first the Red and Blue came out on the original Game Boy. But like, it wasn't until like, the TV show where, it just exploded, the cartoon was going, and then Pokemon Yellow came out around that time. And actually no, because they had Gold and Silver, because that came out like 98, 99-ish. Yeah, because the show was already showing some Johto Pokemon. Like Togepi was in the show.
Oh, yeah.
That, which was always kind of weird, because like, until I found out, like, oh, Togepi was going to be in the original Red and Blue, but they didn't have enough space. And a lot of the Gen 2 Pokemon they made for the Kanto region, but like, it was just too much. They couldn't fit it on the Game Boy cartridge, so they're like, all right, we're going to save them all over to the next game. So a lot of the, the pre-evolutions, like Pichu and Igglybuff and...
Furret.
Yep.
Furret. The best.
That's right.
He's the best one. There's no better. It's just Furret. He's the best fucking Pokemon. I don't care what anyone says. He's just the best.
But his Shiny's
Shiny's
pink.
Perfect. Best Pokemon. No joke. All right? Have a Furret on your competitive team. Make everyone proud.
Exactly. But going back to, people complaining, there's always going to be people like that.
Right.
Who are going to be like, oh, well, why is they not making Pokemon Gun or Pokemon Rapier or Pokemon Mace?
Pokemon Gun was a meme.
I know.
I hope it stays a meme. Anyway.
And then you have a third Zacian or a third legendary one with a freaking Glock in its mouth, just like. And you know what? He doesn't. He just kills your team with just one bullet.
That's depressing. What? I just lined up my cute 6 animals on the fucking wall for the firing squad? What the fuck, dude? I don't want to play a game like that.
It's like, Mom, I don't want to play anymore.
That's fucked up.
It's like that part in Ralph Breaks the Internet where the pancake bunny scene where he's feeding pancakes to the bunny, and then the bunny explodes and the little girl's like, ah! It was in the trailer.
Why?
I don't know.
Anyway.
That's some messed up.
It is. Right, it's just sad.
But what was I gonna say? People also complained about going a little off, not too off topic, because we're still talking about video games.
We're talking about people complaining.
Yeah. People were complaining a little bit about Resident Evil 3 remake.
Resident Evil 3.
Because, hang on, I'm going to pull up the article. It was a Polygon article, but one of the Capcom producers, the guy who was, it's funny, the guy who was, what was his name? He was one of the sewer gators. They used his face in it.
Oh.
I think it was Pete. Yeah.
Pete.
The guy who was like, Clancy, have you seen Andre? Where is he?
Oh.
Unfucking believable.
Oh, what was that from Resident Evil
7? Yeah. And that was also one of the main things of the demo. Hang on. Resident Evil.
Fucking Clancy, dude.
I feel bad.
I feel bad for Clancy.
Because you, like, in the final game, you do play as him.
Yeah.
And I did his whole thing, and oh my god, what a bad fate he had.
Poor guy. R.I.P.
Well, this is from a website called Slash Gear.
Clancy, just the cameraman,
I know.
Poor baby.
And then gets burned up by Lucas. Oh, sorry, spoilers.
Oh, you spoiled it.
It's a Resident Evil game,
How
people.
could you? How could you? You spoiled it.
So a lot of people are upset because
What happened?
apparently the Resident Evil 3 remake is not going to have mercenaries mode. Because, remember that Resident Evil Resistance, like 4 co-op thing?
Oh.
That's going to be bundled with the RE3 remake in the game.
Oh.
Because everyone thought, because when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is okay, this is interesting. Mm-hmm. You can control the monsters, you can be these 4 generic, whoever, student. They look like students. I don't know.
Students.
I mean, one had like a varsity jacket, and the other they look like college students. I don't know, but yeah. Apparently, so according to one article from I guess UK PlayStation Magazine, they're saying that Resistance is going to be canon within the remake universe. And Peter Fabiano, one of the producers of Capcom, all he just said was, just consider my comments in the article. So just only take his word. Don't really believe what the PlayStation England magazine is saying. But, there could be a chance that mercenaries could be in there. Because, I mean, that was a vital part of Resident Evil 3. Kind of like how the second game's remake, how they kept 4th Survivor and Tofu Survivor.
Oh, yeah. Tofu Survivor.
Well, and there's a lot of, hey, a Tofu Survivor. Well, you get to play as, like, the other Tofus, too, which was awesome.
Tofu.
It was, like, Konjac. There was a couple other ones.
Amazing. My only goal in life was to play a zombie horror survival game where I play as Tofu with a gun. Yes.
Well, technically, he has knives.
Oh, great. Okay. That's
But the
amazing.
other ones have different weapons. Tofu Survivor RE2 remake. I am totally not typing this in my phone whatsoever.
Oh, yes. Totally not, Zack.
La 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 la.
Yeah, this is just coming off the top of your head, huh? Yeah, I can see that. That's great.
Hey, I don't own the second remake.
You don't...
I watch gameplay videos as well.
That's
so.
fine. Whatever.
But until, when that PlayStation 5 comes out, and if it's going to have that backwards compatibility with all the previous incarnations of the PlayStation, awesome. I'm going to get it.
I'm going to get fucking Little Big Planet. That's what I'm
Dude,
going to get.
Well, I'll get a bunch of PS3 games.
Gonna get like the childhood games back.
Little Big Planet 1, 2. I want to get Dark Souls 2 again because there's another story. I used to have a PS3, and like what was mentioned before, we owned Little Big Planet 1 and 2. I played those games a lot. Yeah. 2 a lot because I'd go in people's customized levels.
You could do that with 1 as well, but there wasn't as much.
There wasn't a lot.
Well, there wasn't as much to work with.
And yeah, but the 1s and 2 were a bit better because people were way more creative.
I actually kind of liked Little Big Planet 1 a lot for some reason. Then again, I guess what?
I like the gameplay and the quote-unquote story of the second game.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely, for some reason for me, the simplistic style of like the level design and like the minimal story in the first game kind of worked with me well. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I understood what they were going for in the second with a larger, more impactful story.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about it kind of, what?
I just heard clapping on there.
Yes. Go football. Yes.
Go football, man. Run.
Throw the hockey ball. I know that game.
Shoot a 3-pointer. Oh, wait.
Shoot the hockey puck in the basket.
But anyway, so in the fourth Survivor remake, so Tofu has 16 combat knives. Because in remake 2, for those who haven't played it, the knives, you don't have the standard knife that just stays with you.
Yeah.
They actually are more of like a disposable thing, kind of like how the daggers were in remake 1, or the stun gun that you'd pick up in remake 1. So you just so when a zombie grabs you, you have a chance to use your knife. You just stab them right in the heart or the head or wherever. It just kind of does it automatic, and then you have to pull the knife like to get it back. So he has 16 knives. Konjac, and here are the other Tofu incarnations. There's Konjac. He's got a flamethrower. He's got a grenade launcher, hand grenades, flame rounds.
This makes me not want to eat tofu again. I feel like I'm gonna get this coming after.
And there's a oiro mochi. That's his name. That's his name. And he's green for some reason. Why is he green? He's green. This is another running on empty food review.
Yeah.
Pour of the week.
But,
I love him.
know,
Shout out to Review, bro. So he has 36 hand grenades.
His name is Mochi, though, right?
Yeah.
I know Mochi's like a rice cake.
Mochi. And then there's Flan. That's a female one.
Flan?
Yeah. Flan.
Flan? Great.
She's a female tofu.
That's just like a... Isn't that just like a caramel cream?
Yeah. It's like a sponge kind of dessert. She has a minigun, a spark shot, an anti-tank rocket, so probably the rocket launcher.
You need to fucking chill with that. Why do these tofus are carrying weapons of mass destruction?
Because you start in the sewer, you need to escape the police station.
I'm concerned. I'm just like...
There's zombies and dogs and
Do you think you should
Mr.
see a walking...
X.
Think you should see, number one, a tofu walking, and then number two, a tofu walking with a fucking rocket launcher? Does that sound appropriate? Is that something you're like, oh yeah, I know that happens all the time over on the street?
I guess if you live in Raccoon City and shit's going down, yeah.
I guess when you have 50 zombies on your front doorstep, you don't really care.
That's true. You have zombies, you have zombie dogs, you have hunters in the street, you have that gravedigger, like giant worm thing from Resident Evil 3, you have Mr. X walking around just punching you.
You got the lickers.
Yep, them too. And then there's Anin Tofu, the last one, who just looks like regular tofu. He just looks like regular.
All just based off of actual foods.
And so he has green herbs, a red herb, a blue herb, one knife. He has the quick draw army, the revolver. That which was the M19? Oh, that was the handgun. And
he's got the health.
He's got handgun ammo. Yeah, he's got all the health. But not so much as far as weapons go. But
gotta balance it out somehow, man.
That's true. But yeah, man, we have gone so overboard with this. But no, we kept it consistent because we are talking in general about video games, and that's what we do here at Plush Robot. We talk about everything on this podcast.
Everything
Pop culture and life advice.
What about your funeral 20 years from now? We gonna talk about that?
You a time traveler? You're a time traveler. Did Lil Nas X make Old Town Road remix number 1,000,000,007 with Baby Metal? I don't know. That'd actually be pretty dope.
Oh, God.
Anyway, in the last podcast, I was talking a little bit about Gundam and my history with it. And what do you think about Gundam?
What do I think about the mecha robots from Japan? I don't know.
Hell yeah, brother. We got robots from Japan in America? Heck yes.
Not yet.
Aw, shit. What's sad. Anyway.
But I was telling them last time that I build the models, and I actually have my Jim unit in my hand.
Jim.
Yeah, from Gundam Build Fighters.
No, I always thought it was a GM, okay?
I thought it was too, but in the anime they called him Jim.
Well, I mean, where's the vowel? There's no vowel.
It's like, you remember the car company?
Consonants.
The car company GM? Like, oh, I'm going to go buy me a gym car.
I'm going to go buy me a gym. What the fuck?
But, yeah, I love this little guy. He's awesome. He's got the beam.
What was it
And
called?
like
Was
I
it
mentioned.
fucking Jim?
Yeah, this is from one of 3. Because in Gundam Build Fighters, I guess they're part of a little trio. I don't know what they're about. Because I've only seen bits and pieces of Build Fighters.
No, it was a Slim Jim. That's
What?
what it was. People are fucking calling it gyms, and immediately I was like, what? Am I going to a fucking gas station? Am I buying a goddamn food item? And I was like, what is it called? It's a Slim Jim. It's the fucking meat stick in a package. Wow.
That's its nickname. I'm going to...
No, do not nickname him Slim Jim.
Slim Jim. Slim Jim.
No.
Because he's a Jim unit.
I still say it's GM, man. I don't care. Right?
Yeah, that's what I did.
It sounds more like a machine, not like a, hey, it's Jim from The Office, who I see every 30 minutes.
It's Jim and Pam from the show The Office.
Okay, no. We're good. We don't even talk about The Office.
I don't really.
I use
I
The
have friends.
Office has my personality.
Oh, God. You seen that video? Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. So what were you looking up on your phone earlier there?
I was looking up Slim Jims.
All right.
But I was also looking up, obviously, the most fucking perfect piece of art. All right?
And what would that be?
You know, there's just this monkey that's going around, and I don't really know what to do about him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of going crazy, you know? I think he eats a pizza or two or something, but... My God, like, he needs to stop.
Is he like Papa John? He's eaten over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. No. That's like... Okay, that is like peaking my microphone. People are going to listen to this and be like, what the hell is going on?
Like, you just fucking fall asleep. And you know the first thing you hear? The first thing you fucking hear. No, not the first thing. The first thing that wakes you up in the middle of the fucking night. Wow, hey, Stinky! What the fuck is it? Who makes these?
I would call the cops.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's... Home invasion of Uh-oh Stinky.
I don't
Right.
want that.
I don't think anyone wants it, but it happened. So...
Yeah. I guess the last thing we could talk about, Smash Brothers. Who do we think is gonna be in Smash Brothers? Fight.
What is that?
What just happened there? What? What just? What was that? What is that? What?
It's autoplay.
Hold on, let me see.
Autoplay. It's just
Never. What is
it's
this?
Never fail another jump puzzle in Guild Wars 2 again. Amazing. That was exactly
That's
what I
great.
wanted.
Anyway.
I locked my phone, not played that. Alright.
Anyway, like as I was saying, who do we think is going to be in the next Fighters Pass for Smash Brothers Ultimate?
I don't know. Who the fuck else is there? Steve from Minecraft.
I mean, Doom Guy has been an obvious one.
I don't really know why he would be there. I'm gonna be real.
Sora from people have been requesting Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
I can see it. I just don't. No.
Some people have also been suggesting Monokuma from Danganronpa.
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
And I'm just like, how would that work? What would his moveset
I mean,
be?
I know Bayonetta came from like a sort of like risque game series, but they eventually bought it out, or at least got it on.
And Bayonetta 2 is a Nintendo.
It's on Nintendo
game.
consoles, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Crash Bandicoot, I've heard that would be kind of cool to see Crash. But really, the one that's been rumored, same with Ridley and Banjo, Gino from Super Mario RPG.
Gino. I had never actually played.
I've
Super
seen a
Mario
little bit.
RPG.
I've watched playthroughs of it. He's like a little wooden pirate guy who helps Mario out. Just look up a photo of Gino. Mario RPG. And even like some mods. I think Project M has him in there. Yeah, that's Gino.
Well, it just depends on if they would want to do something like that. Because not a lot of people would be able to at least relate. Some of the older, more veteran sort of fans of Nintendo games would definitely be able to.
Right, and that
or
would...
people who go and revisit old games, either one.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, Duck Hunt eventually got on the fourth game. Which is kind of another, like, NES celebration thing. Kind of like how Ice Climbers were.
Yeah. Well, it's not really an impossible thing. So, yeah. I have no idea, in all honesty.
I mean, if you could have anyone you'd like.
If I could have anyone I like, I don't even know where to fucking start. Like, there's just a lot of fucking things. I'm just kind of happy with most of the selections they've already made.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could kind of see myself playing Banjo. I like the Piranha Plant because it was just silly. And a lot of just the base cast I was already pretty happy with.
I mean, I'm already happy playing as my boy Terry Bogard.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Uh-huh.
So you need to
Terry.
get that. You need to get that Fighter's Pass. Because you have Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, I do. And, well, I don't know, maybe.
It's
we'll
only
see.
$25.
We'll see. We shall see.
So I have a list of from GamingHistoria.com from when was this? From January 25th, 2019. So almost a year ago, of their Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC predictions, and let's just see what they have to say. Chosen Undead from Dark Souls. Why? Why Dark Souls?
Because Dark Souls is a funny meme.
Oh.
No, it's like, oh my god. Why would they choose Dark Souls over everything? Why? Because every, like, media outlet ever was like, oh, this is the Dark Souls of puzzle games. Oh, Dark Souls is so difficult. Oh, yes. No. Come on, dude. This
is a Dark Souls of anime.
How would that even work? How would it even work? That's all I just want to know. You have 3 games to choose from, number 1. Then you have to choose the type of outfits you'd have, number 2. Then you have to choose the moveset, number 3. I don't know. I just don't know how you'd make it work in a Smash setting.
Exactly. The next one. Oh. He'd work. Leon. From Resident Evil.
Leon.
But he supports gun violence. Me.
I mean, people want Doom Guy.
Then again, we have Bayonetta.
Bayonetta, Joker has 2 guns.
True.
But technically, they're not real guns. So.
I mean, you know what? You could easily do with Leon what they did with Jill in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is awesome, though.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. Like, Capcom needs to port 1, 2, 3, and Ultimate 3 on the Switch.
I think the reason why they stopped selling it was because they lost licensing with Marvel for a while. And
right.
I think they got it back, but I don't know.
Because there's that arcade one-up of the Marvel Superheroes game.
Yeah.
Which I want to get, because I've seen footage of Marvel Superheroes on YouTube, and if I ever get a chance, if I happen to go to an arcade and they have that, I want to play that. Because, like, that's... Marvel Superheroes is basically just Marvel vs. Capcom, but no Capcom. It's all Marvel.
Wow.
Marvel vs. Marvel, basically. Leon, you could do something with him, I think.
Maybe.
Microsoft here. Well, there's Banjo. Banjo's already in the game, so
Yep.
He's there. Steve from Why? Why Steve from Minecraft? Come on.
Steve from Minecraft and Master Chief.
Let me check the other one. Though this is another one that I kept seeing pop up.
What?
Porky from the Mother series.
Fucking, you want to play as Porky? Out of all characters, you want to play as the fat piece of shit kid? And the spider? Why? Out of all
That'd be his final smash right there.
Out of all the characters you could play as, you just want to play as the little kid who
Well,
showed up for like...
imagine the trailer with him facing off Lucas and Ness.
He showed up for like 2 minutes in each portion of the game until like the final boss, where he was just kind of like bullying you the entire time anyway.
Yeah, he basically is just like, guess what? Here's Gygas.
Does anyone actually want to play as him? Like, do you really? I don't know.
I mean, there was a period on Twitter where that was floating around for a bit, so let's go to another GameSpot one. What do they have to say? Captain Toad. I've seen that flown around a bit. But I mean, Toad already kind of exists with Pete, but Captain Toad would be good.
You want to play as a Toad?
I mean, he's Captain Toad.
Is
He goes on treasure hunts.
Is that what you want? Is that like out of all the characters you would ask for? Is that the one? Would you want the mushroom cap? Fucking you want him as just a normal character? Is that what you
play
said?
as him in Smash?
Is that what you're settling for? Like,
moving on. Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, we talked about that.
okay, understood. I can see it.
What does GameSpot have to say? Crash never made it into PlayStation All Stars, but he deserves a chance to throw.
PlayStation All Stars.
Oh man, yeah, we
They're
had.
throwing shade.
Yeah, that was a weird experiment.
I loved that game though, actually.
Yeah, but it was also like, all right, this is their version of Super Smash Brothers.
It was, but at the very least, it was kind of different in its own way. It had Toro in it. I was happy.
Toro and Koro.
Yeah, well, Koro was part of
Was he a palette swap?
No, he was part of his.
Oh, he was just like there as
like
like
level 1 super.
Mm-hmm. And then there was Dante from the
Fucking
reboot, the
Dante.
DMC,
What?
with short hair Dante.
What was that? Devil May Cry 4?
No, that was
was the game?
No, that was DMC. That was the reboot.
Oh, the flat. Yeah.
He that was short black hair.
I was more
Dante.
so wondering like which game in the series it was.
It was DMC, the reboot, where they're like, oh, we're gonna start over, and then everyone's like, no, we don't want this, and then like Capcom was like, all right, we made a Devil May Cry 5, here it is, and everyone loved it.
Oh, technically it was. If that's the case, then wouldn't that be the 4th game technically? If it wasn't just not named.
No, because they did make a Devil May Cry 4.
Oh, fine.
That came out on the PS3. That was the one with when Nero showed
Oh yeah,
up.
they did.
No, DMC was the gritty reboot they tried to make.
What? Oh, hi, it's me, Dante. My hair's gone. Whoops. I'm like the cool kids nowadays in 2013.
Toon Zelda / Tetra. We have Toon Link.
I can see
That'd be good.
But I think people would just be disappointed.
Right. But, that hasn't, people would be somewhat satisfied.
Somewhat, but yeah. I think they're looking for things that are like definitely going to make people super excited.
Right. Gino. So, another...
Like, I would say like as a bundle or something, like that would be fine. But as like a standalone, that's just... People would be sad.
Mm-hmm. Gino shows up. We talked about him before. Interesting. Chrono from Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger. Another Square Enix RPG. I really know nothing about Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross. I want to play those. I know of them, but I've never played them. I want to really get into those games. But
do it.
He would fit the role. I mean, he's got the look. Sure. They could face off against Cloud.
It would be like some candy for like some of the oldies.
Yeah.
Or rather,
Professor
gamers.
Layton.
Professor Layton? Just add fucking Phoenix Wright in that case. All right.
But he's already in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Give
3.
him another one. Why not? Just fucking add him everywhere. Alright? Just have him throw papers around again.
Tharja. Oh, is this another Fire Emblem character? Tharja?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to that is another Fire Emblem character.
We have 2 Fire Emblem
I wouldn't
characters.
be opposed to it as long as she doesn't use a fucking sword.
They probably would.
We have Crom. We have Marth.
Yes.
We have Lucina.
Mm-hmm.
We do not need a fourth
Roy.
We do not need a fourth different sword user in some way, shape, or form. Roy is like, an interesting put on it at least. It's not really like the same like those 3.
True.
At the very least has a few.
Roy's more of a heavy hitter. Who else? Breath of the Wild. Some character called Cass. I've not played Breath of the Wild.
Cass? That's the bird.
It's a bird. He is a bird.
It's the bird with an accordion, and then he goes...
Is he gonna just play Weird Al songs or something?
Fucking duh,
Okay. Waluigi. Oh my god, everyone...
No. He's already an assist trophy. His fate has been sealed.
What if they just... That would be kind of be funny. It'd say there's just a Smash game going on. The assist trophy comes out, it's Waluigi, but then all of a sudden... It's just like,
it's just the
boom.
character itself. He broke out of his prison.
He's not there. He's not in the assist trophy, and then it's all of a sudden.
He broke out of his prison.
Porky. We already talked about Porky. The Champions of Hyrule.
What?
You want all of them in there? You want all of them?
No.
Nah.
It would be like a touch for Zelda player. Okay. Yeah, Legend of Zelda players, but. Everything else would just be like, there's another character I'm never playing or touching.
What's this?
Unless, of course, it's meta or good. Dun, dun, dun.
And a 4chan leak of the next Nintendo Direct. All right, I might as well take it with a grain of salt, but I'll go ahead and just skim through this.
Why not?
To kick off new decade of gaming, blah, 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 within the first week of January. Oh, first week of January. That has not happened. So I think this may be...
First week of January? It's January 12th, my dude.
Anyway.
Sunday of the January 12th.
That's true. Anyway, I'll just skim through this. So, because the next fighter is going to be announced in February, I think.
February.
So we'll just take a look at this. So apparently, these are the supposed games. Mario Golf Switch. Not the final name, but apparently it's going to come out in summer 2020. Okay. Another Mario Golf game would be fun.
Yes, I want
Brain Age, Nintendo Switch. I know.
Brain Age.
I've heard that there is going to be another Brain Age game.
Brain Age. Oh my god. Brain Age. He doesn't like cilantro. Alright? That's the only thing I remember.
The SpongeBob Battleford Bikini Bottom remake.
Why?
That's happening.
Why?
That's actually happening.
Why?
Because people like that game. I liked that game.
Oh my god.
I had it on GameCube. It was fun. It's a fun SpongeBob game.
True.
Fire Emblem Warriors getting extra DLC pack based on 3 houses. Okay.
Not bad.
Something about amiibo support for New Horizons, Animal Crossing, Pokemon Home.
Pokemon Home, please.
I still don't know what that's all about.
Basically, you'll be able to transfer Pokemon from the older generations onto your Switch.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll be able to do... I think you're able to put them back in the home as long as they were in Sword.
I see.
But you're not allowed to put them back into the older games. But you'll be able to switch them between Sword and Shield and stuff like that.
Shenmue 1 and 2 being ported to the Switch, that would be kind of awesome.
Shenmue 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Is 3 already on the Switch?
It's out.
Yeah, I know it's out.
Yeah. No, that's not on the Switch. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Complete Edition. A Switch... That would be nice. A Switch port RE7, I'll take that. Cruise and Blast home console for... I don't even know what Cruise and Blast is. Okay, so first week of January, no. But if that's the case of the next Nintendo Direct, that would be awesome. Yeah. All right, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Plush Robot Podcast. If you want to send me a question, do so at plushrobotpodcast@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just type in Plush Robot Podcast and you will find this episode on YouTube later on. And we are also on Spotify. Just search for Plush Robot and click that follow button. And then you can follow this podcast right here at Podbean at plushrobot.podbean.com. Well, Kyle, it was great having you on. We should definitely do this again sometime.
Thank you for having me, Zach.
All right, guys. This is Zach and Kyle signing out.
Bye.
Peace.